What you're seeing is a special exclusive 190km detailed drive and a mileage review of the new Maruti Fronx. We have with us is the turbo petrol manual version, and since morning in Goa we have been driving this car across various terrains. So in this video you will see a bit of urban roads, open highways, typical Goan countryside roads, and of course a fun factor with the Fronx, outright acceleration, and of course using the manual handbrake to give you these visuals. Now back in Feb at the Auto Expo, we have already shown you the design angle of the Fronx and of course a special exclusive 4 people space review of the Fronx. So in this video, I'll skip that part and concentrate on the engine, performance, dynamics, and of course the important mileage factor. So what was the tank full to tank full basis genuine mileage from this car in Goa with the AC running? Well, stay tuned to the entire video for the answer. So with the fuel filled up, it's time to reset the driver info display. The fuel economy goes reset. This is the economy in the last 5, 10, 15 minutes. The driving time will be reset. The total idle stop time, the time clock, motion front rear, the torque and power coming in, and back to the fuel economy display. Fuel economy reset, the range will start going up after a while. You see the trip meters on the bottom left side, trip meter A and trip meter B. The same will also be reset from the left stock. So trip meters reset. It's time to leave in the morning traffic of Panjim. Now the good part about the engine is that in spite of giving you 100 PS of power, it's extremely fuel efficient. The certified economy stands at 21.5 kmp for the manual version. For us at the 25km mark with a mix of traffic conditions, the display is showing 18.6 with the AC running. Now a bit about the engine of the Fronx. Of course, 2 engine options, a non-turbo 1.2 which is the same as the Baleno, and a new 1.0 turbo petrol. This is largely the same as the one you used to see in the Baleno RS sold a few years back, but of course with time more changes to the engine to meet the BS6 norms. Power output 100 PS, and even the torque, it's actually more than what the 1.5 non-turbo petrol of the Brezza does. So 1.5 Brezza torque is actually slightly less than what this small motor manages. 5-speed manual and a 6-speed automatic. With the manual we are driving since morning. No issues in terms of the shift quality. Not too short throws as well. Typical Maruti type of gearbox. This gearbox is made in India, but the 6-speed automatic, that's not made in India, by the way. The engine though is made in India, so we can expect good pricing for the turbo petrol Fronx variant. On this review come mileage drive, we have done around 65 kilometers. The economy has only gone up. It's still morning time, less traffic, and we have left the main highway onto these typical narrow Goan countryside roads. 20.5 kmpl plus is what the display is registering with the AC on. The beauty of the engine transmission is that even at lower RPM at 1500, you can just tug along with traffic. Again, with the AC running, no need to downshift, and just over 1500 RPM is when the turbo kicks in and you have all that torque gushing in. So you can basically be in a slow, lazy mode in a higher gear at a lower RPM, and that is why these kind of economy figures on the display. Of course, after the drive, in the end, we'll again tank up to give you the genuine economy as well. Now over 2 hours into the journey, we've done almost 85 kilometers, and few more observations. In spite of being a 3-cylinder engine, yes, the turbo petrol is not a 4-cylinder motor, it's a 3-cylinder engine, and in spite of that, the typical vibrations that we associate with a 3-pot motor are missing. You go down hard on the right pedal or you are idling at a red light, those vibrations from various body parts which come in usually in a 3-cylinder engine are missing in the Fronx. So the level of work done by Maruti to ensure the cabin is silent and smooth in the Fronx turbo is really remarkable. So thumbs up to Maruti to give it a slightly more premium and upmarket feel on the inside for the driver and the passengers. Now before turning back towards North Goa, towards a hotel at the 122 mark, I thought of going off the road and take the Fronx to the edge of the cliff for a bird's eye view of the ocean. And pretty surprised in a good way with the way the Fronx handled this no road section as well. Finally taking me to the edge, and what a view from that place. You will agree on the screen. Now I haven't driven the 1.2 non-turbo of the Fronx, but I'm driving the turbo petrol 1.0 of the Fronx. First things first, really surprised with the way Maruti has worked so hard to keep the NVH or the noise, vibration, harshness levels really well under control. No matter you're going pedal to metal or you're idling at a red light, the vibrations or the harshness, they are very, very low inside the cabin. So in the cabin, you can actually have a very decent amount of conversation with the rear passengers without raising your voice. So that is a plus point, a USP of the Fronx. I'm in the manual gearbox variant right now. No issues with the throws or the shift action. Now the Fronx definitely has a low height for a crossover, and this is the reason Maruti is not given a sunroof in the vehicle, because with the sunroof your headroom goes for a toss by a good 2 to 3 inches. Right now, no sunroof. I stand 6 feet tall. As you can make out, I have decent amount of headroom left in the vehicle. So a few features definitely missing in the Fronx as compared to the Sonnet, the sunroof, and for example TPMS or the tire pressure monitoring system. So just over 150 kilometers done, and we have stopped here for a railway crossing. The train is about to come. Display shows over 16 kmpl, and on the crossing we have a direct competitor to the Fronx. This is the Kia Sonet, and a comparison video will be coming up very soon on our channel, so stay tuned for that. For now, over 16 on the speedometer, and it's not done in a short time frame. I'll show it to you. I'll just start the car and I'll show you the time taken to do the distance. Is 155 kilometers over here. I'll exit the navigation and then I'll show you 16.3 kmpl, and we have taken 4 hours 36 minutes for this. So it's not really a easy highway run, but mixed driving conditions. And once the train passes through, we'll continue towards our end point. Almost 200 kilometers will be done, then time full basis for the genuine fuel economy. Now, before we end the video at the fuel pump, I want to tell you that this is a free revving engine. For a 100 PS motor, it's sufficiently quick, and even the third gear has long legs for you to overtake really fast moving traffic. Because the NVH levels are so nice, because the insulation is so nice, you can't really hear the sporty side of the engine inside the cabin. But otherwise, the free revving nature is something that will keep enthusiasts happy. It does not feel strained even when you hit the rev limiter in the third gear, like you can see on the screen right now. It's very soft. Even the rev limiter is pretty soft, so it's not a strained engine, and I believe that tuners might be able to extract a lot more power and torque without affecting the internals of the engine. So finally 190.9 kilometers done, and the display shows 16.2. The time taken for this has been 5 hours and 21 minutes. So time to fill her up and tell you the genuine economy on a tank full to tank full basis. So there you go, simple calculations. The distance we drove, 190.9 kilometers, divided by the fuel we filled, is a genuine 16 plus kmpl from the turbocharged petrol manual Fronx across a variety of driving situations. Remember, the display also showed 16.2, and that is the actual economy after the fill up, which means the MID is very accurate for the Fronx. Is this good enough? I think in my books, definitely superb.